Hello everyone, I'm the Nerdy Fool and welcome back to Pathfinder Kingmaker. We've made it back to our kingdom, and it's time to do a little bit more work on the kingdom, particularly acquiring the South Gnarl Marches, which is the area we've been working in lately. So acquiring that as part of our territory will be nice. We did just buy a bunch of BP so that we can get the make the claim. It'll take 14 days. And yes, time did not progress, forcing us to be here, which is nice. So these are all saying that we can't do them because the advisor we need, either we don't have an advisor or the advisor we need is busy, I'm guessing. So this one technically we could do. I mean, it's saying that Castle isn't busy, but he definitely is. This hasn't... I mean, it did finish. This is the oddity of the cheat, where it's not quite handling the fact that things have completed. Oh, hello there. Dragon? Your name's Dragon. Cool name. A young dwarf in worn-out clothes shows you a scroll of fine paper with an expensive seal. He speaks ceremoniously, like a herald. Greetings, my name is Dragon Wardash. I come to you, your grace, with a request, or to be precise, to receive compensation. The Road of Shields used to run through your lands. It was built among others by my ancestors, members of the noble Wardash clan. This means they still own it, even though they were driven from these lands. According to all law, if a bandit takes my father's house and kills him, the house still belongs to me, so I've come for what's mine. You guys fled because it wasn't profitable to stay in the area. Now that I'm building my kingdom here, you're wanting me to pay you for the road. I mean, you guys did put a lot of lives and money into building that road. I get that, but you guys abandoned it. It wasn't that bandits took it from you. In your example, bandits didn't take it and take your road and kill your father. Your father abandoned his home, and then bandits moved in. It's a similar but different. Here, take a look. This scroll contains a list of expenses for building the Road of Shields, the cost of laying the stone, draining, cutting fire breaks, and so on. You and your people have lived for a long time on lands that lawfully belong to my people, making free use of the fruits of someone else's labor. Would you now please pay for the work my ancestors did? I, Dragon Wardash, humbly demand compensation for those who are no longer able to collect. I do not ask for gold. It's better that you give me a house with a shop, which will cost as much as the sum in the scroll. You see, I'm a blacksmith, and I'm used to earning my living honestly, but I can't work without a shop. As soon as I get what's mine, I'll open the shop right away. Then you'll have at least one decent bladesmith. Lawful neutral, fine, I'll do what you ask. You get nothing from me, leave at once. Lawful evil, my advisors will check your calculations to the digit. Unfortunately, they already have a great deal to do as it is, so the gods only know when they'll have time to look at your petition. Or chaotic evil, you think you can demand something from me? Hang him. I would rather... Yeah. I guess he isn't asking for gold. He's asking for a shop, so that he can work in my lands. And him working in my lands is going to bring me profit in the long run. Like, I'm going to build blacksmith shops and whatnot in various towns anyway. So sure. Essentially, when I make a shop, I just say that you can use it. And it has to be made somewhat to your specifications, it sounds like. But yeah, fine, I'll do as you ask. It's lawful, we're going chaotic, but still, it seems fine. I don't think there's any long-term penalties for it. The dwarf blinked several times, surprised. You agree? Just like that? Seriously, I never thought I'd meet, in this land of thieves, a ruler who honored the law. You are truly a worthy ruler. Well then, I guess we'll meet when you satisfy my petition. My respects. Like, I'm not gonna always be chaotic just for the sake of being chaotic. As much as Valerie seems to think that's my only motivation. Ah, your grace, my stories are calling for you. Have you come to answer their call? I brought some relics. Are any worthy of a story? How interesting. May I, your grace? He gently touches the items from your pack. So we've got more Torag pendants. More tokens of the Dryad. Oh, now here is something truly impressive. These items once belonged to a dwarven smith, and they wish to tell us their story. I hear the booming strokes of a hammer, the sizzling sparks and roaring flame of the forge. The anvil, it sings. So this is probably, I think we had tongs and an apron that we found. The air is so fresh. It is like I'm back home, in the woods of my motherland. I can feel a soft breeze through my hair. Storyteller takes a deep breath and laughs. Some of the 5 items are still missing, though, Melandra. So the full story of this forest remains a mystery to me. I would be happy to trade the whole set of items for their story. Can you hear it calling to us? Let us hurry. Tell me the story of the singing anvil. I see the flames of the forge. It is so close I can touch it. The heat sears my face and the sparks sting my cheeks. But there's no fear in my soul, only admiration and reverence for the work of an artist. The storyteller seems to be in some sort of trance. His unseeing eyes reflect the flames of a forge that burned out long ago. So the apron, the brand, gloves, hammer, and tongs. Those are the 5 pieces. I'm Colgan, an apprentice of the great Zarif, the first smith of the Bronze Shield Fortress, and I am fascinated by the work of a true master. The smith's hammer is raised in the air. The forge bellows, roar. The sparks sizzle. The rhythmic ringing fills the room. The anvil, called the searing palm, replies with a happy, booming voice. This music, this song overwhelms my being. I feel a tear of joy run down my cheek and hastily wipe it away, for it is proof of my weakness. Bronze Shield Fortress is one of a series of keeps built by the dwarves of past ages to protect their trade routes from and to the Five Kings Mountain. Centuries have passed since it was constructed, and the dwarves have largely abandoned these trade routes and the myriad fortresses along the way, ceding them to new occupants. The keep, once known as the Bronze Shield Fortress, was taken over by the dwarves' bitter enemies, the Trolls, along with kobolds, who gave it a new name, Trobold. Okay, so that was the Bronze Shield Fortress. I think we knew that, but I've forgotten. The tongs in my hands are covered with soot. I help the master all I can, but I'm not allowed to raise my own hammer over the anvil. Master Zarif protects his anvil zealously, won't let anyone else near it. It usually offends me, but not now. Now, my heart follows the ringing beat of a fiery song. What makes this anvil so special? Is it enchanted? The anvil was created by Ordleif Langbuck himself in ancient times, when the dwarves, full of hope and inspiration, built fortresses along the Shield Road. Ordleif gave this anvil her voice and named it the Searing Palm. Ever since, the anvil sings hymns in praise of the sublime, crafting skill of great Mother Creator. When will Master Zarif let you work the anvil? He says I'm not worthy. He says I have no talent, no spark of creation in my soul. The storyteller's lips curl with contempt. He says that all I can do is copy the work of others. What are you making? I can't see. I don't know. I don't care. The storyteller shrugs and frowns. This is my master's work, not mine. It doesn't bother me. Please continue. All I hear is silence. Bronze Shield Fortress is sound asleep, save for the blinking of the signal bonfires. No one knows of the blasphemy about to be committed in the heart of the fortress. The storyteller chokes down a lump in his throat. I push open the door of the smithy. I fear the door's squeal of protest will wake everyone, but silence quickly returns. I take a step inside. I stoke the fire and don my soot-smeared apron. Long have I dreamt of the anvil. It calls to me. Its alluring voice captivates me. Its ringing is full of promise. Tonight I will work the anvil myself. Tonight I'll become a creator. And Master Zarif, upon seeing my work, will be forced to accept me as his equal. The fire rises to the ceiling, and I raise my hammer to make the first stroke. Something's wrong. When did I make a mistake? Storyteller's face collapses. The anvil, It won't sing. It moans under my hammer. Instead of sweet music, I hear cries of pain begging me to stop. I clench my teeth and strike again and again and again. I will make it work. It will sing for me, even if I must torture it to do so. Ugh. It's not good. The moans of the anvil become a monotonous rumble, but I can't stop. The smithy door swings open and Master Zareth stands before me, disheveled and furious. He screams curses at me, but I can't hear them. The metal of my work crumbles under my hammer, but I can't see it. My eyes are blinded by tears. Storyteller shakes his head to clear it of the visions. A weary smile on his face. Well, that is it. Well, what happened to you? I mean, to Colgan? He left. Hung his apron on the hook, tossed away his hammer and tongs, and left Bronze Fortress. Deep in his heart, Colgan knew that Master Zareth was right all along. Colgan's hammer would never create a masterpiece. Hard work is a poor substitute for inspired talent. Colgan turned his eyes to Droskar. It's a minor dwarven deity with a very limited following among the surface-dwelling peoples of Golarion. He believes that sufficient toil leads to eventual success, and those who fail simply weren't trying hard enough. In the pursuit of this goal, Droskar teaches that one should be free to do whatever is necessary to accomplish one's goal, even if that includes lying, cheating, the exploitation of others, or even worse crimes. The god of the Dark Dwarves accepted this new follower. The Dwargar gave Colgan shelter and provided him with unceasing, tiresome work that required no talent, just endless routine. He crafted weapons for the Dwargar army, and nobody expected masterpieces of him. He soon forgot all about the Searing Palm, Master Zareth, and the blasphemy he had committed, and it seems to me that there, in the dark tunnels serving Droskar, Colgan finally found happiness. What happened to the anvil after that? It lost its voice. Bronze Fortress never again heard it sing. Oh, that is sad. Storyteller sighs. It was still functional, and the weapons made on it were durable, but nothing more. No master ever managed to craft a masterpiece there again. The dwarves' weapons gradually lost their enchantments, and defending against local dangers became increasingly difficult. I suppose Colgan's desecration was a strong contributor to the dwarves' eventual abandonment of the fortress. Thank you for the story, Storyteller. So yeah, he pushed beyond what he was supposed to, and it eventually led to killing the anvil, which eventually led to killing the fortress. That's sad. It also reminds me a bit of Harem in our party, and his desire to create and finding out that he can't, that he lacks the talent. Also, we got all those helmets, right? So the 5 pieces that he was talking about, it wasn't talking about these helmets. This is something else. But Storyteller, you have nothing to say about those? I brought some relics. Are any worthy of a story? Storyteller raises an eyebrow. How interesting. May I, your grace? He gently touches the items from your pack. They are so fresh. It's like I am back home in the woods of my motherland. I can feel the soft breeze. Yeah. Some of the 5 items are still missing, though. I don't know. That's definitely talking about something else. Something else we've started collecting that we need more of. I don't know. But yeah, we've got a few of these things that feel like the storyteller should be able to tell us more, and he doesn't. So I'm not sure the details there. But fine. Actually, can we had our conversation. Did all the other events resolve themselves? No, they didn't. We're still working on all these things. Okay. I keep thinking that if we wait a day, things will push forward, but maybe they don't. Then let's head out. When we come back, maybe some of those things will resolve themselves, or maybe not. Right, we're still very injured. Maybe I should wait a day. Get some rest. As I keep walking back and forth across my throne room.
Follow if you dare.
We can rest. That'll give us an opportunity to heal up for those that are still injured. Hello there. Oh, it's Valerie. Valerie enters through the throne room, fiercely stabbing her heels into the floor as she approaches. She stands before you and simmering with indignation. I would never have thought that I'd commence my career as regent with such a case, but the leader of the local gang is at your gate. He's brought a chest stuffed with stolen goods, which he wants to share with you, the new lord of the stolen lands. Ah. That's not the direction that we're trying to go. I know I'm going a bit chaotic. I accept that. But I'm not wanting bandits to keep stealing from people. I insist this impudent man be immediately arrested and brought to justice. Your lands have a long and dark legacy, but your subjects fail to grasp that the times of cutthroats and extortionists are over, and law rules here, now and henceforth. Valerie flares her nostrils vehemently. You will not protect these bandits as the Stag Lord did. Oh, we are actually making a choice that will have effects. This isn't just lawful or chaotic or whatever. Drive the bandits from my land, and from now on, do the same to any similar petitioners. Gives us +3 community. Arrest this bandit and clap him in irons. The same fate awaits any like him. It would get us 50 BP. Wouldn't actually build the community. It feels like it's a pretty similar thing rather than driving him from the lands, arresting him. Why does arresting him not give me community? I'll accept this tribute. I hope the good lad and his colleagues will continue to share their revenue in the future. Minus loyalty and economy. But we get 1d4 BP per week. Yeah, no. No. I think building stats is honestly the most useful thing we can do. 50 BP is worth a decent amount of gold, but gold doesn't seem incredibly challenging to come by. I still think it's odd that we have better results from driving the bandit from the lands rather than arresting them, like making them somebody else's problem. Letting them live and be free, just not in our land, is the better choice than arresting all bandits. At least from a making the community happy. Anyway, drive the bandits from my lands, and from now on, do the same to any similar petitioners. So these presumptuous criminals can run rampant in someone else's lands. Still, at least this may teach them half a lesson. Yeah, that's what I was saying, that it seemed odd that we're just forcing them off to someone else, and that's a better result. And Valerie agrees that it's not really good. Castle bows briskly, then hurries to speak. On your orders, I have reviewed our military forces. The results are disappointing, Your Grace. We require new recruits, and the sooner the better. We can introduce some restrictions, limiting how many could qualify for service. However, under these circumstances, I feel they shouldn't be very stringent. Indeed, I would recommend we announce that anyone can join the army, and I'm sure that we shall find many brave men among your subjects, ready to protect their lands. So we can open unrestricted recruitment. Anyone with the will for it is good enough for our army. Strength in numbers. Yeah, we just have a bunch of terrible recruits, but lots of people. Strength in numbers, not strength in quality. Select the strongest and most skillful recruits. I need real fighters. Gives us talented recruits. We'd have very limited numbers, but they'd be all quality. Or select those who have ambition. Soldiers who dream of glory and rank always serve better. Ambitious recruits. People with ambition, not always, but frequently backstab each other to try and get on top without having to actually put in the real work that's needed. Because if you can tear down those around you, you don't have to actually make yourself better. And that's not good for any circumstance. I think it's a danger to limit our numbers to just the most strong and the most skillful. We need numbers. We're surrounded by enemies on a lot of sides. We don't have very many allies. I'd say just get our numbers up and then make sure that the strong and skill that we find amongst those numbers get promotions, benefits, etc. Work to improve the best that we find, but we'll find the best if we have everyone. So strength in numbers, which luckily is what Castle is wanting. Wonderful, Your Grace. I will begin recruiting new soldiers immediately. And we supported the general's endeavors. Alright, so the proposal for cooperation. 3 merchants from Absalom arrived. We got a success. The regent promised the merchants help in resolving property disputes if they arise. In exchange, the merchants agreed to lower their prices on timber, stone, and ore. Nice. Regent demands your presence. Advisor wants to discuss an urgent matter. We've already dealt with that. The regent's problem. General requests an audience. We've dealt with that. Research on the nature of curses. Davik Nettle. Now that the undead engineer's curse has been lifted, it might be prudent to study it and be more prepared next time. It appears that curses are a mysterious, little understood magical phenomenon. They can have devastating effects on their victims, but the source of the power is virtually unknown. Perhaps it will be well to keep an eye open for any other curses we might encounter. This research has increased our understanding of divine magic. And then trade agreement with Mivan was also a success. The agreement has been signed. So we're going to get a +1 BP per week at the cost of 100 BP, which is not great. And that now opens up even more stuff. We've got 2 more rank ups, which is nice. We were talking about community. Can you stay open for me? Community and military being close, and they're now ready. Economy is actually getting pretty close as well. We need to get some of these others up, because that's what's required to get a few more advisors. So if we start wanting to raise Valerie, it doesn't cost any BP, which is great. And then also upgrade you, Castle. So that's both of those. For economy, we've got strength in numbers. Give the general a +1 bonus for taking advantage of an opportunity. We've got to wait for that to resolve. And then restoration of the Bronze Shield Fortress. Pay tribute to the land's long-gone dwarven settlers. Begin restoration of the Bronze Shield Fortress and that section of the Road of Shields. I do like the idea of that. It's going to take time. Same as I like the idea of rebuilding the Temple of the Elk. Each one costs 100 BP, which is rough. Any other projects? We could keep researching curses. Which also costs 50 BP. I guess that's the question. Do we want to focus on researching curses or rebuilding the temple? What does this give us? +2 divine. Is that it? And 1 BP or no, the 1 BP is from our divine rank. Surely there's some other benefit of rebuilding the temple. This pillaging gives us 150 BP. And that feels really good. Special region upgrade. That's what we win. Alright, if I was wanting to do this, it would cost 200 BP. I don't know if necessarily buying all this BP is the right call. We're doing it anyway. So Canara, you start on rebuilding this the fortress and repairing the section of the road, which will improve our military and stability, which sounds great. And then we could research curses. We've got the village in the marsh. I guess which curses do we have that are available? Village on the marsh and Bald Hilltop. I think the village is the more interesting at the moment. And that's possibly more useful at the moment than rebuilding the temple. Long term, I want to rebuild the temple, but we need to sort out these curses because there's lots of them. So you start on that. Okay, and I think we are finally ready to head out. Same team. I like our team. So yeah, we need to get to the Mud Bowl. That's not a road, that's just a path. Right, we own this land now. And the Hodag Lair is there, and Dwarven Ruins are, yes, are part of our new region. Same with this bandit camp that I know we did go in. At least I thought I did. Maybe we skipped it? We don't have a road going there, so I guess we did skip it. We need to get there to the Hodag. Let's go here to the Ancient Crossing. Actually, let's go here. We can then add this to give us +2 Arcane relatively cheaply. Actually, go back here, enter it. Jubilost, are you here? Like, are you still hanging out? Because we're heading in the direction.
I do what I...
The number of times I've come here wanting to talk to you. Are you finally willing to progress whatever your storyline is?
Hey, it's you again.
I found the Dwarven outpost you told me about. The trolls have found it even before me.
Unbelievable, amazing. Its location must be mapped at once. I definitely need to see the place with my own eyes. Lead the way. Oh, as for the cart, well, never mind, it'll be okay. I'll send someone for it later.
Jubilost shouts in excitement, totally ignoring your mention of the trolls. So yeah, he now joins the party. I think he's an alchemist, which I don't know much about. Besides that, you probably throw bombs and whatnot. Some sort of ranged character, so probably replacing one of you two. I'm going to replace you. Although he is my trap person with the current party configuration, and I don't know if Jubilost handles traps very well. Like, if he has a decent thievery skill. We'll see. I may have made a mistake. If we look at your character, you do have stealth and trickery. Brilliant. You'll be our new trap person. And then as for, you've got a heavy crossbow that you use. Really good intelligence, okay dex, and sort of middling everywhere else. Okay. I'm going to take a moment to level him up, because he starts as a 5th level alchemist, and I assume we can get him to level 7 like everyone else. So see you guys in a moment. So for Jubilost's 6th level, I gave him the explosive bombs ability, which just makes his bomb attacks have a radius of 10 feet rather than 5 feet, for the explosion, so he's going to catch more enemies. We have the benefit that he has already, where was it? Precise bombs, so his bombs don't affect allies. So the larger the blast area, the more enemies I'm going to hit, since I don't have to worry about him hitting allies. How that works, I have no idea. You can throw a bomb, like Alchemist Fire, overlaying an area and have it somehow miss half your party. But that's fine. And then I'm putting him points for him into Arcana, because even though that wasn't where he was previously skilled, Perception, he's almost last in our party, so I don't... He's on the lower half, so building up his Perception I don't think is as important. Same with Use Magic Device, we don't need him for that. So, Arcana, just by giving him a couple of ranks, he already is the best in the party, since we have no one else. I've been starting to spec Melandra there, but Jubilost will do better because he is an int-based character. And then, spell-wise, I chose Fox's Cunning, boosting intelligence, since intelligence is what all of his bombs are based off of. It'll make him better. And let's see about next level. See you guys back in a moment. For his 7th level, I gave him Weapon Focus Bomb. Just kind of surprised he didn't have it already. He does have a lot of stuff that does still help. So Throw Anything gives +1 bonus on attack rolls made with thrown splash weapons, which seems to be similar to Weapon Focus Bomb. And then he's got Point Blank Shot and Precise Shot, which do apply to bombs. And then Ability Focus +2 DCs for bombs. Now Weapon Focus Bombs. He's definitely being built with the idea of being good with bombs, but also he's going to be okay using his bow or crossbow because of those. And then spell-wise, his spells can only affect himself because they're potions he's making. There's an ability we can eventually take that allows him to use his potions on others, but for the moment they're himself only, so things like haste, which would be nice, it doesn't really work because it only affects him. So figured just a heal is a fine choice. He can heal himself, and then eventually when we do allow him to be able to cast spells on others, having him have a heal for others is still fine. And that's it. We've gotten his Knowledge Arcana up to an 11, so that's pretty good. We should hopefully be able to identify all the magic items we're finding, which is the goal. I hate not being able to identify them. But yeah, he's now in the party, so let's... Amiri? You're looking a little dead. You're definitely alive. Can you get off the ground? Well, we are able to leave. Not sure what your deal is, Amiri, but hopefully you undie soon. Let's go back here where we were planning next. I could go to that bandit camp. Yes, we are very much aware of this. Like, I want to see tutorials in general, but I don't want to see that particular window every time. So let's give me 2 more arcane. The Lizard Folk Village? Low muddy hummock protrudes from the middle of the winding river, surrounded by a palisade of outward-facing wooden stakes. Inside, a group of mounds are clustered around a single large mound. A simple gate on the eastern side of the hummock seems to be the only entrance to the fortified island. Interesting. Lizard Folk Village. Again, I'm not against the idea of having monsters living peacefully in our territory. So we go to the Dwarven Ruin first for Jubilost and then make our way up to the Hodag. And then at some point, head the complete opposite direction to the Mud Bowl. Maybe we go down here to the Swamp Witch's hut. And we start there. We talk to the Swamp Witch about the missing child, see if she has anything to say.
Adventures can wait.
Once Valerie's also tired. There we go.
Gather our strength.
Now, we've got you in the party. You are amazing at cooking. So you can do that with your plus 16. Mary can go back to hunting. You can go back to that. Is there anyone who I would rather put on camouflage? You're fine on camouflage as well. That would put me on watch, which is terrible. Nah, this seems fine.
Do not be set aback by how quietly I keep to my thoughts. Come to me and I will discuss with you the frailty of life, the whisper of the night, the great God.
Quietly keep your thoughts? You mean how you act like a coffin stuffer? No thanks.
A coffin stuffer. Now, the Swamp Witch has asked us to get the mushrooms, and we still haven't done that. So I hope... Amiri, please, can you stand up? I don't... You're not dead. We revived you. I promised.
Done with waiting.
Please.
I need a challenge.
I think... Between episodes, I'm going to have to figure out what's wrong with Amiri. Because... I don't think she's able to fight in her current condition. We definitely raised you from the dead. You're alive. You're theoretically in a lethal stance. You again. I'd offer you tea, but I don't have any. How about a cup of death cap tincture instead? She gives a splintered grin. Best thing for health. I'm looking for a lost child. Have you seen him by chance? A boy? What would I do with a brat? Pickle him in a jar? That's rich. She gives a rattling laugh. Where is it written, if an old woman likes a little peace and quiet, she must be a child-stealing witch? I didn't actually say it was a boy. I said it was a child. How do you know it's a boy? Who knows what could have snatched up a child? Mayhap he's been eaten by goblins, or lured it to the swamp by the wandering lights, or maybe his poor sobbing mother with all her false tears strangled him in his sleep, then put him into bed with a shovel somewhere deep in her forest, and now looks for someone to mantle the blame. Go to her, squeeze answers from her, and make her tell you where her whelp is, but don't be bothering me. Succeeded at perception. She's shaking with indignation. She's a proud woman. You can tell that easily, and the fact that she's breaking composure makes you sure she's telling the truth. Alright, well, farewell. Good riddance.
I'm there.
So she doesn't know. Which doesn't know anything about the missing boy. She may be pretty cranky, but she didn't seem to be lying. So where's the kid? And why would Jenna accuse the old lady? We have to talk to her at the Capital Tavern. Okay, next time we're back at the Capital. Are we able to leave, even though Amiri isn't down here with us? That's the question. Yes. I guess I'll call it the end of the episode here. Next time we'll go to the Dwarven Ruins, and if we can get Amiri to stand up, maybe go to the Hodag lair, because I'm not excited to try taking on a Hodag with Amiri if Amiri can't move. That's not going to work out well. But that'll be the plan for now. So for now, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys then. Bye.